a long-standing record for this event. So we're extremely excited about that. So getting prepared for a lot of people to come out and run. So we have a lot of vendors that are going to be out there. We have Life's Kitchen back for the baked potato bar that we put out for all of our participants. As for those food trucks, we're going to have Double Decker Espresso, Holy Oli O's, Mountain Berry Rolls, Kona Ice, and then Blue Sky Bagels for all of the participants at the end. And then we have a whole list of other vendors that will be there on the right side there. We'll set up in the parking lot of the Morrison Center with all of those vendors. Ooh. So we work closely with BPD, BME, and then Roadwork Ahead to create the safest route for the participants in the community. 99% of this event is on the Greenbelt, so we don't have any road closures for this event. But for the one tiny little piece where we are running on the side of the road, we'll work with BME and React to get some people around there. We have to cross a couple intersections as well while we're on the Greenbelts up by Park Center. So we're going to have a vehicle placed at each one of those intersections just to kind of aid in that flow. And then we'll have volunteers and staff all over the event footprint as well as all over the Greenbelt just to ensure that those runners are headed in the right direction. So we'll get notices out on the Greenbelt 2 weeks prior to the event, just signs kind of sporadically placed around. And then we are mailing those flyers to that River Run area just so that they know we're going to be coming through their area there. For the trash and recycle plan, we'll have a recycle and trash dumpster plus a ton of boxes and recycling places. And we'll have a group of people walking around and emptying those trash cans as always. So for the site plan, and that is way smaller than I thought it was going to be, sorry. Just looking at it, we're at the Morrison Center this year because of that construction in the stadium. So the start line is going to be on the right-hand side there. They're going to head out and then towards Park Center. When they finish, they will head back in and be in the finish fair area. We're pretty well set up there and we've done quite a few walkthroughs, so we're not super worried about this. The parking plan is something that we don't usually do, but when we have this many people, we start to think about parking. There's about 1,600 spots in that parking garage attached to the Morrison Center. We also have Lincoln Garage reserved, which is about 0.1 miles away. So between those two, we'll have over 5,000 spots, and that will be more than enough. So just taking a peek at the courses. For the marathon, it's just 2 half marathon loops. So the half marathon and the full marathon is going to be on our left there. So we're going to head out to Park Center and we're going to cross the Park Center Bridge there and then head all the way up to Whitewater Park before crossing that red bridge there at Esther Simplot and then head back to the Morrison Center. If you're doing the full marathon, it's just 2 loops of that. On the right here, you see our 5K. So that's going to be about a third of our participants running that race there. There is a 10K option, which is just from the Morrison Center up to that Whitewater Park and crossing that Whitewater Park Bridge. Not worried about any of these courses. This is something that we use these courses very frequently, so all good on that sense. And this is the parking plan that I was talking about. Just wanted to make sure that there was more than ample parking. So we're going to split those parking garages up by race. And it works well because of the time that those people are showing up. The half marathon and full marathon is at 7, and they will be in that orange lot, which is connected to the Morrison Center. For the 5 and 10K, they're going to park at that green lot, which starts at 10. And we're going to hand out those passes they're just like the hanging passes at packet pickup so that people have that. And then we're working with BSU. We're going to have their parking staff there to help direct. And then as with all of our events, we'll have acute rescue on site with an ambulance, EMT, and paramedic. And then we'll have 4 first responders, which are our lifeguards for the Y, stationed at some of the aid stations around, and then 1 at the finish line as well. And that is it. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Perfect. Thank you, Griffin. Tanya.
We can chat offline about where you touch roadway, but I've got everything I need. Thanks, Griffin.
Perfect.
Has Ed joined us?
Yes, I have. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. I had some issues earlier with my microphone. Just a quick question for you. Are you going to be borrowing any trash boxes or recycling containers?
I don't think so. We have quite a few.
Okay. Okay. Then thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hi, Griffin. So we discussed this before the meeting, but we just need to nail down that placement for the dumpsters.
Perfect.
I did confirm that your order is the 8 yards trash and
Yeah.
recycle, so we're good on that. We just, even I know you're out of town next week. I can meet with BSU, but yeah, that'll be key.
Okay.
The only thing I have remaining. So thank you.
Nothing from us in parking. Thank you.
We received your COI, so we're good. Thanks.
Awesome.
You're all set with DBA as well?
Thanks for your presentation, Griffin. Thanks for working with us with some kind of construction pop-ups here and there and communicating with your route. So as far as parks goes, we're kind of all set. So thank you.
Everything looks great. Thank you.
I think we're good to go too, Griffin. Just be sure to communicate with the state fire marshal's office about your footprint in the parking lot there. Okay, thank you.
Nothing for me either. Thanks.
And we've got the signed labor agreement, so police is good.
Perfect.
Nothing for me.
State's good.
Good morning, Griffin. We know you work really hard on all these plans, so thank you for that. I'll just wait to see when we get the finalized traffic control plan and then what PD is planning for the staffing. So just if you'll keep us in the loop and then we'll get that all together and out to the resources. So
Awesome.
thanks.
Do you want me to put the PLA for Boise Police into the SLA?
That's already been done
Oh,
for
okay,
you.
perfect.
And I'm good too. I don't need anything. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Great job. Now the Capitol Classic.
Mhm. I made my weekend a little hard. So this is on Saturday and then the Capitol Classic is on Sunday. Right, get them out of the way, right? So no, but we wanted to change the Capitol Classic a little bit just as we had to make a couple changes to tradition. So we wanted to try it out while school was just still in session, so kids weren't gone yet. So we're going to try this one out this year and see how it works and go from there. So we're expecting around 1,000 kiddos this year, which is kind of online with where we've been for the past few years. So we're hoping to hit that 1,000 mark again. So the new course, which there's a map of in the next slide, but historically we came from the train depot down to the Capitol, just with construction, and I am very happy to change this. We're going to do the 4th of July parade route instead. So starting in front of the Capitol and then ending at the park. I think this is going to be a lot safer and a lot better on families. So instead of moms and dads dropping their kids off and then having to shoot down the hill and find a place to park and then be at the end there, they can park, drop their kid off and then wait. So just with the little bit of polling that we've done with moms and dads around the Y, they're super excited about this just because it feels safer, and I believe it is too. So here's that course, so that it'll start right in front of the Capitol and then left on 11th and then back and then on 4th. So that's our footprint here. That pink course you see there is our adaptive course for those adaptive kiddos that we have participating in the event. It's going to take place at the exact same time. They just have a little bit shorter course to go there. And then we cut back down, and I call it the Y right there. We cut back down at the Y, and the finish line is in the same place it is this year as last year, just coming from the opposite direction. So we have our full TCP. I think I've given you this already, but here that is. So we're going to make sure we have a lot of implements out there to try and combat what happened last year. So we're going to make sure all of that is pulled out in time. Then as well, we were hoping to get the car barricades out there just in a couple of key spots, just for extra safety. Once again, we work closely with BPD, React, ACHD, and Roadwork Ahead to make sure that the course is safe. The footprint is different. I think it's going to be a little bit less impactful on the community while this event is taking place, because last 40 years, it's been very hard to do that rolling closure. We'll do a rolling closure here. It'll just be a little bit less impactful as it's a smaller footprint. And then at each intersection, we'll have volunteers with signs and vests just to kind of aid, react and BPD in that. So neighborhood notices, we'll give those notices to the homeowners and the offices around that area and the businesses, as we always do for this route. And then we'll put, is from last year, signs are not going to be posted at the Boise Depot, but we'll have them around the Boise Capitol. So, and then of course we'll have the dumpsters that we do. I think it's a 6-yard for that one. And those will be on the roadway from Friday until Monday. So the start and finish area is going to look the exact same. The finish fair area will be the exact same as last year, just in that Cecil Park right there. And then the start line and the finish line are those black lines that you see there. I kind of explained those a minute ago, but it should be less impactful. We're working with Porta Pros to get those bathrooms out there on that corner. And then the dumpsters, I just need to get you a map, Conrad, for those. So lots of first aid at the finish, as always. For that child safety, what we do is there's 4 different colored flags. As they come and pick up, we use colored pens to write their name, phone number, and the like their emergency contact phone number on the back of their bib. So if we find a kid that isn't with a parent at the end, we grab their bib. We say, oh, you're supposed to be at the red flag. Let's go ahead and call mom or dad. Make sure that you guys get to the right spot. We've been very successful in that. We haven't had any issues in the past with this. And then for parking, we're just encouraging people to park downtown. As it's Sunday, there isn't any paid for the meters. And then if they want to park in parking garages around the city, that's on them. We're not really providing any parking plans for them. So we're just hoping people know how to park downtown. And that is it. Does anyone have questions on that one?
Great. Thanks, Griffin.
Hi, Griffin. Great presentation. I will work with road work ahead for some amendments on the traffic control plan.
Okay.
Other than that, I have everything I need.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Ed?
Hi, yeah, just a couple of quick questions. Are you gonna provide any, or the vendors, like plastic water bottles or anything like that?
Yeah, so we do, we have a partnership with Swire Coca-Cola. We do water bottles for all of our events. And then
Perfect.
we try and recycle those as best as possible.
Yeah, no, great. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that, yeah, those were good to go into the recycling containers. So definitely, yeah. And then also, are you going to have the same amount of staff monitoring all of the trash and recycling containers that you had that you will have for the marathon?
Yeah, we just have a group that
Okay.
it's usually a group of high school kids every time that comes around, and we have them do like a green team that kind of just empties the trash cans.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I've got.
Hi, Griffin. So in your presentation, you mentioned 6 yards,
Mhm.
and my records show you asked for 3 yards. So if you just want to
Do you
confirm
have
what
3
size,
yards?
yeah,
Oh, let's
That's
do
the
the
smallest
threes.
one.
Yeah, I thought the smallest were the 6 for some reason. Let's do the
Okay.
3s. I don't think we'll fill them, so.
we'll keep the 3s in. I have your ACHD permit, and Vince is ready to go with the meters. So if, like you said, if I could just get that map, we'll good to go.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All the meters that we need are reserved. You've paid for all the fees, so we're set to go, man. Thank you.
Awesome.
And we have your COI, so you're good to go.
Hi, Griffin. We are going to ask that you turn in that neighborhood notification paperwork for this race, just like you did last year. I'll connect with you on email about that. And then since you have the new route downtown, I'll also be there to support you if you need more information about who exactly to contact, since that route's a little bit different this year.
Perfect.
So we'll connect offline.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Griffin. We'll continue to work as those vendors get finalized in the park, but other than that, thanks for the presentation. Appreciate it.
Hi, Heather Zeitlin. Nice to meet you. So in the application, it said that all restrooms and food trucks were on the paved surfaces. Is that true for this one, or was that at the Boise location?
Yeah, so
The depot?
what we tend to do is we try and keep those on paved surfaces, especially the ADA ones. So what we do is we have them on the grass just facing out. So if the sidewalk is here, we'll just put it right on the corner there, so they still are accessible.
And then is it food trucks for this event?
Yeah, they'll just be on the sidewalk or on the road.
And facing towards the street
Yes.
side or up?
Yeah,
Okay,
street
so
side.
people will go around
Mhm.
into the street to access.
Yeah, and those streets will still be closed, so.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Griffin. We have no problem with the footprint. Looks like the same footprint as last year. Just a reminder, make sure any food truck with that cooks with grease has their fire inspection stickers. They're green this year. So
Perfect.
thanks.
We're good to go. We've got the PLA signed and we'll get the barricades out and we're staffed, so we're
Awesome.
good.
Since your event's going to be starting and finishing this year at the Capitol, I'm going to extend your reservation to the beginning of our the beginning of our start time for the Capitol reservation. With our current environment of protests, so I want to make sure that you have the area secured.
Yeah, I think it only lets you do a 3-hour period maybe when you do it.
Yeah, we're changing it. It's going to be half day AM, half day PM, or all day.
So we start at 11, so if we could have like 9 until 2.
Yeah, you're going to have from 7 until 7.
Oh, perfect. Great. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
makes my life easier.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. Same with the last one. Great presentation. Thanks for all the thoughts going into this. We're excited to see how this goes for you. And then we'll just wait for the final traffic control plan and the final staffing from PD.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I'm good to go too. So if you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in a few weeks.
Great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Griffin. Next up, a new event to Boise, 2025 Latinx Pride. Welcome up, guys. Joel, yours is the only name on the agenda, so if all three of you would introduce yourselves, that'd be great.
Shall we? Hi, I'm Joel. I'm the lead organizer for Latinx Pride.
I'm Oliver. There we go. I'm Oliver. I'm the head of operations for Latinx Pride.
My name's Amanda Blatt. I'm the co-director of security and volunteers for Latinx Pride.
Thanks. And you guys are new organizers, so I should have reminded you that we use the mics so that the system can pick it up since we stream these meetings. So welcome. Really excited to all the work that you put into the event. I understand we had a little bit of a snafu with our online permitting system, but and apologies that happened with a brand new organizer. But anyway, welcome to the team. We're looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you. Oh,
Okay.
I mean, don't tempt me with a good time. Alrighty. Yeah, so Latinx Pride, the diaspora, it's gonna be the first time ever. It's gonna be on May 31st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it is a celebration of the intersectionality of Latinx, which is the non-gender form of Latino, Latina, trans, and queer community here in Boise in the Treasure Valley. So the agenda, you already know, so I'm going to skip that. And we'll start off with the site plan. So the site plan the location will be at CISO De Andres, which we have the reservation for. We're going through this process. We won't be closing any roads down. The entire festival will be on the park, and we don't anticipate impeding any sidewalks either. Originally, we thought about putting a stage that will be like one of those like truck stages, and that would impede some of the sidewalk on 6, but we decided instead to actually just do our own stage, smaller, less than 400 square feet, for our first event, just to keep things simple. So we've paid for all 26 parking meters around the perimeter of the park in order to provide parking for, well, one, to keep some of that accessible to first responders in case of an emergency, Two, to provide parking for the food trucks that will be on the north side of the park, and also to provide parking for vendors / organizers. We plan to keep 10 feet separation between the foot trucks. And by foot, I mean food trucks. So safety and volunteers.
Um, I'm gonna do karaoke.
Mm.
Okay. So we have a tiered system that we use for events like this. We have safety volunteers that'll be trained. Actually, all of our volunteers and organizers are going to be trained in safety. And then we also have MAV Security, which is a private paid security firm that will be providing security at the entrances. Then we are working with Boise Police Department, and we'll have officers available as well as the liaisons from, and I don't know if that's include as part of it, but I believe we have two of the liaison officers, the LGBTQ plus liaison officer, Henson, as well as the Hispanic liaison officer, Moreno, will be there as well. And then we have our medical team. We currently have 3 folks that are very not only trained, but have worked with a lot of different events like this. So they are really well versed, and we're working on getting, we will also have a AED on site. And then we will be looking at just providing like support throughout the day as needed. Is there anything else?
So the emergency action plan, in terms of like if a child is lost, we'll have training for our safety volunteers to know that to take the child to the volunteer booth, and to do that in pairs, so no one's left alone with the child. In terms of 911 situation, Amanda Blatt and Terry Scraggins will be those that will be in charge of the actually doing the call in case of an emergency. And that's it. Cool. Community, in terms of accessibility, it is a free event. Not sure if that's what that means in terms of accessibility. We are, we're working on doing bilingual signage for a lot of what we're doing, given the community that we're serving. In terms of accessibility, the park itself, it's, there's not any steps up and down. So in case if someone needs that, there's ADA compliance in that sense. Insurance, so we have general liability insurance, and we've certificate. We've named the city of Boise and Ada County Highway District as certificate holders. Notifications on the businesses around Cecil. We started flyering around that neighborhood already, but we'll also reach out over email and go through the list that we got sent in order to make sure that we hit all the businesses that need to be notified. And then on-site notifications the day of, we'll have a sound system, so like microphones, but knowing that not everyone's going to necessarily hear that, we are also plan to have emails and notified of any important updates on Instagram as well, which is the social media that we use.
And Signal as well.
And then Signal for communicate. Yes. Yes. Boom. So the entertainment is, we think about kind of like the entertainment being the vendors, whether they're food, whether they're selling something, or they're just information, or not just, but they're information type of booths. Then we move on to the morning programming, which is the concept there is creating abilities or creating ways for the community to interact with each other. And, I heard this word called be resource. So, food together, some sort of wellness activity, and then that leads into the afternoon programming, which is the entertainment part of it. So the joy and the pride and the celebration. So the setup time is between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Then we move on to the morning programming. So the morning programming will be from 10 to noon, and it will be a breakfast ceremony that and a dance blessing of that. And hopefully we'll have a spiritual facilitator on that as well. But after that, we'll move into a community yoga that's going to be led by two awesome yoga instructors. Then we move on to the afternoon. At the first part will be kind of an interview with someone, a leader within the Latinx and queer community. And then there will be a keynote speaker, which just keep that as a TBD because things need to be finalized. But we're excited that the mayor's office reached out. She would like to participate at the event. And given everything she's done and doing, we're super excited for that. We just have to iron out the logistics. And then finally, we move on to the entertainment, which is going to be the loudest part of the day with drag performances, dance performances, a fashion show. And then tear down time is between 3 and 5 p.m. Public health in terms of food and beverages, we'll have 3 food trucks. We have Tangos, Morales, a Caribbean food truck. Food vendors will have 2. Beverages will have 1 vendor there, but all the food trucks will also have beverages in them. Sanitation, we're working with Porta Pros to do the porta potties. We're thinking 6, and 2 of those 6 will be ADA, and we'll have 2 ADA water stations. Waste management, we're looking to get 2 bins, 1 6-yard waste bin, 1 6-yard recycling bin. And then looking to get 12 trash containers and 12 recycling containers to put around the park. That's it. Any questions?
You guys did great. For this first year of the event, no beer garden or any alcohol?
None, no.
I didn't see it, so I just wanted to double check on that first. We'll start with Tanya.
Hi, guys. Great
Hello.
presentation. You've done a lot of footwork ahead of time, which is really appreciated. You're not affecting the right of way. So unless you're going to have cords or something strewn across the sidewalk, we can touch base offline. But it sounds like that's all been rectified. I can help you with your dumpster permits because you'll need permits through ACHD for those. And Conrad can elaborate more. But I can reach out this afternoon for those. Thank you so much, guys. Great
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you.
Ed?
Cool. Hi, yeah, thank you. And yeah, again, great presentation. Just a couple of quick questions is one, how many staff will you have to monitor to the trash and recycling on-site containers?
Well, we will have, I'm imagining we would have probably at least, I would say maybe, well, yeah, I was thinking like 10.
Oh.
Yeah, that can kind of be there as part of the safety groupings. And like we said, we do everybody volunteers in pairs. So maybe 5 pairs of 2.
Okay, yeah, I would definitely just try to nail that down and just I know parks will want to know just so we don't have any overflowing trash or recycling containers. So yeah, that sounds great. And then also, yeah, with borrowing the 12 trash and 12 recycling containers, if you haven't already, just make sure Conrad will be the person to help you with that and get you set up. So I'll let him address that. And then just lastly, if you haven't already, would you electronically distribute? We have a low waste vendor guide that will go to all food and non-food vendors just for their reference to help keep a low of a waste event as possible.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Good morning. Thank you for the presentation. I'm Conrad. Yeah, so with the new event, I have quite a few questions that I'm happy to take offline, and I'll include Ed and Kelly, and it looks like according to your application, Oliver is the point person for the waste management, so happy to get us all together on an email, because I do have a handful of questions remaining before we go any further. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Vince, City Boise Parking. We have the meters that we need for the event reserved, paid, so we're set to go for you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. We received your COI, so you're all set. Thanks.
Nice. Thank you.
Hi, folks. Thanks for a great presentation. I'm Abby with Downtown Boise Association. Thanks so much for being on top of that neighborhood notification plan. I know we emailed a little bit about that yesterday, Joel. If you have any questions or need support getting through that list, please feel free to reach out.
Will do. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you.
Morning, Joel and team. Thanks for the presentation and also kind of your ability to work with us and receive our input on some changes. So I definitely do like the event. Kind of footprint and kind of scaled back from the initial version to make sure those sidewalks and everything's kind of clear. So we'll continue to work through with those vendors as it kind of gets finalized in the finer details, but I'm excited to have y'all at Cecil.
Thank you.
Heather Zeitlin with the accessibility program. So I sent you guys that guide yesterday. I know it was kind of last minute. I apologize for that. But that'll give you more detail on what accessible means for special events and some specific items that you need to hit. And then we can talk on offline if you have any questions about where you're going to place items, like and making sure people, it seems like it's stage focused a lot, and making sure that people can access an area so they can see those speakers in those events.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather.
We already had our safety and security meeting, so I don't have any further questions. I did notice that you started the process for applying for the permit. If you could just complete that when you get a chance. If you have difficulty with that, let me know. I'll put you in touch with our process specialist to help you with that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got your signed labor agreement, so I think we're all good to go on the police side.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, a couple questions for you for the state. What are you going to be using the steps for? Do you
Great
know?
question. We're thinking that part of that's we might have like the yoga and like the community event there. So it's like away from like the sound of like main stage.
Okay, that makes sense. I was just curious because of the road closure, I didn't want, traffic flow impact. So make sure you're using the crosswalks. And if it does start flowing into the street or causing safety concerns, then we'll have to have that addressed. What's the chances you can add the state of Idaho to your insurance?
Easily,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah,
We
we're
can do that.
requiring that now. So if you could add that.
Yep.
And then we're also going to expand your hours to the full day as well, since it covers both sides.
That'd be sweet. Not just from like 9 to 12.
What's that?
I was just saying not just from 9 to 12.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Whatever you want.
no, that's whatever you want.
It's 7 to 6. 7 to 6, but it's you can't just reserve anything after the hours. So that'd be good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to see you all again.
Hello.
Thanks for the wonderful safety and security meeting that we had. Thanks for taking all the recommendations that we talked about. Is there a way we can go back to the map just real quick? I just wanted to double check something. So I believe you guys are looking at still around 1,000 people. Is that correct for your estimate? Which is wonderful. We sure hope it grows. So medical is great this year. We did talk about moving that medical tent closer to Bannock and Capitol, so it's easy access. If you guys could, if that's still in the works, that would be great. And if you could send us an updated map, that would be wonderful.
That would be sweet.
Thank you.
Yes.
That way, when we share it out, then our resources know where to go. But outside of that, you guys have done tremendous work, and we really appreciate everything you've done. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and to be we'll update the map, and then we're saving the parking spots on Bannock, and we're keeping those empty. So then, if a first responder needs to park somewhere, they can park there.
It was like 6 months ago, I met you here in the council chambers over a cup of coffee. So,
That's right.
it's,
there.
yeah, right there. So, good job. I am very, very sorry again about the technical difficulties. Thank you for bearing with me through that.
Not at
I
all.
did just submit the application, so I have, everything is kind of getting to everyone
Nice.
in a more formal way. But I'll send you the link so you can log in and get that paid.
Nice.
And then, it looks like Oliver's taking awesome notes for you. So, if you guys need anything else, let me know, but I'm good.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Awesome job. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
And with that, we will adjourn the special events team meeting and then let you all move on with safety and security.